All right, so we've looked at the sine law, and then the other useful law for finding sides and angles in right angle or in non-right angle triangles is the cosine law. The cosine law helps find missing sides and angles working with either all three sides, so when we have no angles at all and just have three sides, or if we have an angle wedged in between two sides. So it's kind of wedged in there. If I set my hands up like this, it's wedged in between there. So my angle where you see that little equation wedged in between, that's how it's set up. So we either have A, B, and C, all three sides, or else we have something like this where we're looking for side A and we have this angle here. So this is the general setup. These are the values that you'll be working with right here. And again, A, B, and C are just relative to the triangle here, but we can switch that around. In your textbook, you will see this formula written three different ways. You'll see B squared equals A squared plus C squared minus 2AC times cos B. They're going to make it a little more complex. All you need to know is that the angle and matching side, so its angle and its opposite side, are the pair that go on either end, and then the other two sides go in between. So this is the version to find the side. You can just rearrange this, although you do have to be careful with bed mass when you're rearranging and simplifying. This is the rearranged form. Cosine A equals A squared minus B squared minus C squared over negative 2BC. So that's just a rearrangement of this above formula. So these are the exact same things in different arrangements. Find the side, find the angle. So let's take a look at using this. So if we take a look at our first example here, we have a side missing. You see there's my angle. We're looking for its opposite side, and then it's wedged in between two other sides. So we can use that now to find x. So let's use that to find x. We have A squared equals B squared plus C squared minus 2BC times cosine of A. And our A values are this pairing here. B and C are the other two. It doesn't matter where they go. So in this case, A squared is x squared. And then we have 13 squared plus 14 squared minus 2 times 13 times 14 times the cosine of 35. So from here, it's just a matter of making sure you're following bed mass properly. Be careful while you're doing this. Do everything in the right order. You can square your values. Here it's negative 2 times 13 times 14 times cosine 35. A lot of times one of the common mistakes is that people will do this and then simplify here and then multiply by the cosine 35. This all has to be multiplied first before the addition subtraction can go on. So what I'm going to do is simplify this bits by bits. Or if you are working with a good scientific calculator that does order of operations, you can type this all in at once. So you could just type in 13 squared plus 14 squared minus 2 times 13 times 14 times the cosine of 35. That there will give you the value of x squared. Okay. Or you could do it step by step. So I'll do it step by step here to show. So 13 squared is 169 plus 196 minus 2 times 13 times 14 times cos 35. 2 times 13 times 14. So that's negative 364. And still times the cos 35, which is 0.8192. Still got to multiply. Okay, this is the big spot where people make a mistake. They decide to subtract and then multiply. Got to multiply first, then we can do our subtraction and addition. So 364 times 0.8192 is going to give me 298.19. Now I can subtract and add 169 plus 196 minus 298.19. And again, I get my approximately 66.81. Now that's x squared, so I take the square root of that. So just take the square root on both sides. And if I take the square root of that, I'm going to get 8.17. So there is my missing side of x. So it's just a matter of, again, if you have a good scientific calculator, you type that in correctly like that, and you can get your 66 right away. Otherwise, when you're going step by step, make sure you follow order of operations. Don't do this subtraction here before you've got that multiplication done. All right, let's take a look at B. And so in this case here, we're looking for the missing angle. And so we could use the angle formula, or we could rearrange the original formula. Either way will work. Let's use the angle formula for this one just to see an example of that. Cosine A equals, so there's, let's fill it out first. A squared minus B squared minus C squared over negative 2BC. So cosine A is my angle of x. So cosine of x equals, and then 6 squared, because that's the matching pair. That's my A's. And then the other two, B and C, don't matter the order. 10 squared minus 12 squared over negative 2 times 10 times 12. So 6 squared is 36 minus 10 squared, which is 100, minus 12 squared, which is 144. And then divide all that by 120 times 2 is negative 240. And so I have 36 minus 100 minus 144. Make sure you calculate out the full top before dividing it by the bottom. And then we divide those out. And I get 0.8667. So 0.8667 is my cosine x. Pull out my handy dandy table or press second cosine on my calculator. 8667 going to be 8660, pretty darn close, 30 degrees. X is 30 degrees. There you go. So be careful with the cosine law, especially. It is one that often makes people make mistakes because they're not following order of operations. So make sure you're following the order of operations with the cosine law, and you should be fine with it.